Hi, everyone. It's me, Yvonne Emile Elizondo from Silver Moon Astrology and Transpersonal Counseling, also known as Silver Moon Counseling. And that was kind of funny. I'm like, it's me. I felt like a little kid there. It's just me. All right. Okay. So it is witchy season, right? It's season of the witch. I'm trying to do my best to tap into that vibe this year. It's been a little bit difficult, especially because of the weather that we're having here in Central Texas, and it's still warm, and I'm just not feeling that cool, the leaves changing colors, changing of the seasons. And, living in Massachusetts on a horse farm for a while was like the most wonderful experience of my entire life. And I wish I could get that back. So I'm trying to do everything possible to get myself feeling like it's season of the witch this year. So what I decided to do was I wanted to share with you some of my favorite books that pertain to development of that, witchy part of you, whether you're, into witchiness or not. I hope these books can be helpful in one capacity or another. But I recorded a different video with my favorite books on psychic development. But this video is going to be about sharing more of my witchy-oriented self-development books. So if you're into that, if you want to know more about that, hang in here and I will share this with you. But first and foremost, I have to start off by sharing my absolute favorite book ever, 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 ever. Okay. And this is the prediction book of practical magic. Okay. And this was written by Michael Howard. Now, I actually got this book when I was in high school. Okay. I'm 52. So in 1986, I was 16 years old. And this is when the publication of the book was published, right? 1986. And back then we did not have the amazingness of like Barnes and Noble and Half Price Books or Amazon to run down to you and take a look at all of the Oracle decks, all of the tarot decks, all of the witchy books. We didn't have any of that, right? We didn't even have like an occult section. We didn't even have Barnes and Noble. Like we didn't even have that, right? So all of the books that I had to get my hands on were literally, I had to mail a check. I would have to have my mom write a check out. I would have to cut out, the advertisement at the very bottom of the back page of the newspaper of a magazine, the occult section, right? I would have to cut it out, fill it out. I had to put it in an envelope, stamp it, and send it out. And then maybe like 8 or 12 weeks later, I would get my book. That's how I initially started studying all things witchiness, astrology, the occult, magic, was by having my mom send out checks so I could buy the books. Okay. This is why this is one of my favorites, because it's close to my heart. It's one of my very first, I don't know, it might have been my very first magic book, my first witchy book. And that just did it for me. Like I was hooked, right? Look how old this is. Like it's yellow. Okay. I love it. Earth Energy. Okay. This is one of those books. If you are lucky to find one in print, please take it, because it's really simple. It's concise. And the author actually wrote several other books, like the book of astrology, the book of tarot, divination, birthday palmistry. So I got all of them, but this one is the one that was my absolute favorite. And so I just wanted to share it with you because it is so close to my heart. This is how I learned how to do magic. I know, so cool. Okay, moving on. So the first few books I'm going to show you are very much about that, getting to know your witch side, your witchy side. Okay. And I chose these. I have a lot of books. I have a lot of books, a lot of witchy books, and a lot of books in general. These are my fantasy books over here. And there's a whole other shelves out there somewhere. But I chose these, A, because I didn't want this video to be too long, but B, because these are really, really, really good. These were the ones that I think I really tapped into from the author's tone and vibe. I very much, we were kind of in the same vibe, and I felt just cohesiveness when I was reading these books. The first one is by Judy Ann Nook. There we go. And this one is The Witch's Grimoire. Okay. I love this book. This is literally, now, if you're not familiar with what a grimoire is, it's the Book of Shadows, right? Okay. So basically what a Book of Shadows is where you go in and you journal all of your witchy work. Okay. So it's really cool. I started doing that with this book way back when. Okay. But the Witch's Grimoire, this is literally a grimoire that is already set up for you. Okay. And it helps keep you on track with learning all of the things that you need to learn about that witchy life. Okay. So, and look at this. I love it. Now for me, because I mentioned my ADHD just kind of runs amok sometimes, I like the text to be very clean. So I did struggle with this one a little bit because she does use a lot of italics, but that's okay. I got over it. I figured it out, just took Adderall that day and I was fine. No, I'm just kidding. So this one is, it teaches you how to make your own incense, teaches you about the tools, the book of memory. She has like the pathway, creating sacred space, awakening your elemental powers, the theory of magic and practice, magical tools. So it is the entire essence of learning how to be a witch from, and it's already journaled for you to some extent. So she gives you step-by-steps, but she also gives you the opportunity to fill or complete record your work, which is what a grimoire is, basically a book of shadows. That's what it is. Okay. So it is really awesome. I totally recommend this. If you want to start learning how to, tap more into that witchy essence in your life. Okay. The next one that I would like to show you, I'm just gonna put this down here. The next one I'd like to show you, anything by Silver Ravenwolf, I loved. She did the teen witch book, okay, that I gifted to my daughter and my daughter used as she was growing up. But anyhow, this one is the Witching Hour. And this one is more about like spells and powders and formulas and techniques that are going to help enhance your witchy work. But it's, I don't want to say basic, it's fundamental enough that she provides all of the fundamental aspects of the witchy life, okay, in here, but adds on to it, right? So it's not just a basic here, these are the tools. It's not basic like the basic book of practical magic that, I bought when I was 16, but it does have the fundamentals and it does give you some really great, super cool stuff to work with. Okay. It talks about herbs, the spirit mount salts, how to create sigils, the divination of planets, because, as an astrologer, this is really important. So again, I love this book. I love the cover too. It's really it's like a Maddie kind of cover, but all right. So make sure you pick this one up as well. Okay. And I just want to say, I am not being paid by any of these resources at all. These are just me just wanting to share my own individual preferences. Okay, then we switch gears a little bit and learning about the witch year. Okay, the Wiccan year, as we refer to it, is also important. Now, mind you, I don't consider myself Wiccan per se, but I do practice a lot of maybe the ritual work or the celebration work. And the next two books are exactly about the year, the celebrations of the year as we practice them within the witchy life, right? So this one is the Wiccan year. Okay, this is by, again, Judy Ann Nook, which gives you a theme, right? My grimoire. And this one, awesome books. Okay, this one explains and really details the different celebrations of the year. Okay. So for example, we're coming up on one here within the next week or so, which is Samhain, aka sort of similar Halloween. Okay. But it talks about like Yule or Beltane or Litha. So these are all of the 8 celebrations, 8 Sabbaths of the year. And you don't have to be Wiccan to practice these, okay, because these are so earth-based. We're really, from my interpretation, all we're doing is celebrating Mother Earth through the 8 Sabbaths. So again, you don't have to be Wiccan to want to pick this up. But I really enjoy what she does because let me backtrack. It's similar in tone to the Witch's Grimoire, but it's a very different book because the Grimoire is a grimoire. It's exactly you journaling and going out and practicing the rituals, where this is more like, hey, here's some suggestions on what you can do, for example, for Samhain, right? So we start with Samhain because Samhain is the beginning of the witch's year, right? So for example, it talks about the celestial, impact, the Phoenix rising, okay, meditation during Samhain, the reign of Scorpio and the age of introspection, right? And I just recorded the new moon in Scorpio for October 25th of 2022, which goes along very well with the theme of Samhain. So how to honor, you know, your ancestors. It's amazing. Okay. And that's just for Samhain. Imagine what it has for all of these solar cross for, you know, the Ostara, okay, of the year. So again, a lot of really, really cool information in here. I don't want to make this video too long, but there you go. Okay. Along the same line is this wonderful book. I don't hear much about this one, but I really like it. This one is The Magical Year, and this one is by Dan Forst. And I like this approach because whereas the previous book is very much maybe witch oriented, this one is not so much. This is more of a subtle witch kind of vibe, or at least that's what I took from it. And I'm not trying to negate anything witchiness about it. It's just that that's the way that I interpreted this book. And again, it goes into, come on, Ivan. It explains, you know, the various types of like summer solstice, okay, the 8 Sabbats, and it explains the equinoxes and the solstices, which is also very important. So it is very earth-based, Mother Gaia-based, okay, Beltane, stellar meditation. So she gives you crafts that you can do, illustrations. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, and this is the spring equinox, right? So we're blooming. Again, oh my gosh, look at that. That's just, I need to figure out who the illustrator is, because that is just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so summer solstice power. Yeah, I get power with that one. I'm not big on the sun, and the sun and I right now, Apollo and I are having a bit of a duke out battle here the last 5 months. I'm more of a moon gal, but this is absolutely gorgeous. So this one again would be very gentle in the witchy approach, but it's very earth-based, and you could totally tap into the 8 celebrations and the equinoxes and the solstices. So try this one, The Magical Year. All right, now I'm going to move into more of a traditional study of the witch life or of witch work. Okay, and these were my favorite. They're a bit longer, and these are going to take more of, you know, depth and time if you really want more of an academic approach, so to speak, to these to studying either the Wicca or the witch life, or just witch work in essence. First, I would start off with Witchcraft, okay, the mystery tradition by Raven Grimassi. There we go, okay. And this is really the mysteries of what it means to do witch work. Okay, I took this more of a historical type of book. So if you want to learn more of the historical aspects of it, but it also provides a lot of detailed information about how you can, you know, use different techniques to enhance your witch work. So for example, oops, there goes my mouse. The memory chain associations is a really cool one. The witch's goddess, okay, the underworld goddess. So it talks about the different goddesses, the earth mother. All right. Again, there's some illustrations here. I won't show that one because that one's a nudie. Okay. But you're not going to show that one either because like, I'm afraid I'll get dinged. So this is more of an adult book for sure. Okay. But if you're interested, it really starts off with the history of witch work. So I would encourage you to tap into this one too. Okay. The next one is along the same lines. These two are along the same lines, but these are very much more like academically based. Okay. And what I mean by academically based, it's like, it's a study manual, basically, is what you're doing. And I love all of his work. This is Christopher Penczak. Okay. All of his work, but I particularly love The Temple of Shamanic Witchcraft. Okay. Shadow Spirits and the Healing Journey. This is one of a series of books where you tap into learning about your own power and your own essence and your own aspects of, you know, what witch work is, for example. And it literally is, you know, like a step-by-step, okay, illustrations as well. So it literally starts off lesson 1, lesson 2, okay, lesson 1, the worlds of the shaman, okay, very shamanic oriented, which I absolutely tapped into. Lesson 2, the world aside, okay, lesson 3, the underworld path. And in each of the lessons, it gives you a historical aspect, his own interpretation, and explains the tools, the rituals, and then he gives you the opportunity to step-by-step practice your own ritual. Okay, so again, this one's really cool. One of a series. I'm trying to put these down because they're so heavy, I can't put them on my desk. Okay, this one is another one along the same line. This one is very much Wicca oriented, whereas the Shamanic Witchcraft previous book that I showed you wasn't so much. It was more shamanic in nature, right? And shamanic is more tapped into the natural power of the earth, okay? And really tapping into more of that intuitive sense. This one is a year and a day. So with the Wicca perspective, the idea is to study a year and a day. And if you study every day for a year and a day, and you practice and you learn the lessons and you learn the rituals, this is how you upgrade to the next level within the Wiccan training system. Okay, so this is very much the same as the other one. It is hefty, hefty, hefty. And what I love about this one is that it literally breaks it down into the days and what you will need. Okay, so on day 190, right, earth power. No, we're just talking about the earth. No coinky-dinkies, no coincidences. Okay, earth, the power to be silent. Oh, man, I really should go back and just, maybe I can teach this one to my daughter because she's a chatter box. Okay, so it gives you, you know, the idea of what you can do. Some of these are very simple in nature. On not every day, you're not going to have like a huge ritual, and some days you will. Okay, and then he gives you like a rest day. So it's cool if you're interested in like actually learning the entire, you know, practice of Wicca. And my very last one, I could not do this video. I could not do this video. I don't know if that makes sense without including like a spell book, right? I have a whole bunch of spell books, but I've come into my, and I might just do a video on spell books in general. I have been practicing enough where I feel, if I don't feel comfortable after, I don't know, 86, 96, 2006, 2016, almost 30 something years, okay, that I've been, you know, genuinely practicing witchy work. If I have come to an understanding that I can create my own spells now. But if you're still trusting the process and wanting to learn from other people, this is a wonderful addition to your library, which is by Deborah Blake. I love all of her stuff. Like, she's awesome. Okay, Everyday Witch A to Z spell book. And this is just literally a spell book. Okay, but what I really enjoy about this one is that you don't always need all of the herbs and crystals and all of the, you know, additional ingredients that for someone like me is like, I like my fundamental basics and I'm not going to go out and find like this, you know, exotic herb. You may be the person that wants to go out and find the exotic herb, and that's great. But this is more of a practical approach, which is more along my line. So again, tap into this one for sure. And that is it. Those are my go-to. I sincerely hope that maybe you found some of these interesting and you'll be willing to pick them up and start learning. But again, this is my favorite. Like, I have such good memories of me just wanting to learn on my own, right? As a teenager, and, you know, just wanting to tap into my own vibe. I knew something was happening with me. I knew that I could sense stuff and see things and feel things and know things that other people didn't, and feel a lot of people's emotions empathically. Back in the 80s, we weren't sure what that was, right? So this was a ginormous help. But all right, everyone, if you want to learn how to discover, how to explore or enhance your own psychic work, your own, you know, inner witch, your own essence, figure out the path that you want to take philosophically or ritualistically or whatever, or if you just want to have fun and pull some cards and learn about Oracle, okay, come and see me. You can find me at silvermooncounseling.org, or if you're looking for just, you know, someone to talk to, I am a licensed therapist and I have lots of tools in my toolbox other than these. Okay, I hope everyone has an enjoyable Samhain, and let me know what you think about these books. Take care, everyone. Blessed be.